So I recently just read Sword of X #1, which is the first chapter in the latest X-Men crossover. And if I had to sum up my general reaction of reading this first issue, I think it could best be described as this. All right, before I get into talking about this specific book, anyone who's watching this video who's not kept up with the X-Men of late, over the last year, since fall of 19 till now, they've been doing this thing where Jonathan Hickman, he's been heading up this new direction for all the X titles. He's not writing all the X titles, he's writing X-Men, but he is steering this ship, I guess you could say. The general plot of the X-Men under Hickman centers around Moira MacTaggert. She has figured out the only way for mutants to survive in the future is for all the mutants to come together and form one nation. So all the mutants, and I do mean everybody, good guys, bad guys, it doesn't matter. You got the X-Men hanging out with Magneto, Mr. Sinister, Hellfire Club. As long as you have mutant genes, doesn't matter. So they're coming together and they form a nation on the Krakoa Island, which is a living island that's been around for a long time. I think its first appearance was Giant Size X-Men #1, where Nightcrawler and Storm and all of them had their first appearance. So they're living on this island together. They have a council of, I think, 12 to 16 mutants, kind of a mix of some of the classic good guys, bad guys who rule over the island as this thing called the Silent Council. And they grow this super drug on the island that can basically cure anything, and they're using their monopoly of the super drug to basically control humanity, politically speaking, economically speaking. They don't actually rule Earth, but they're basically extorting the humans into doing whatever they want and forcing the humans to go along with whatever they want to do. And that's essentially their plan for survival. So it's been pretty interesting to see the X-Men take this direction when they're no longer superheroes anymore. They're basically just, I don't know, I guess you could just call them nationalists? Mutant nationalists. Yeah, I guess it's a thing now. So they're mutant nationalists, and, it's not a direction for the X-Men that I personally like, but I will say it's very different. And it is very interesting. I've enjoyed reading a lot of it just because like I said, it's just different. And Jonathan Hickman's a really good writer, so, I enjoy reading his stuff anyway. So now on to this latest crossover, Sword of X. So in a way, the whole X series right now is kind of a crossover. But since they're not really titled it anything, it's just this, just this new X direction. They still want to keep the whole idea of doing crossovers going so they can, milk that train like they do every year. And, the whole crossover thing pretty much got started with the X-Men back in the 80s. So why not? So the first issue just came out a couple weeks ago, and they're basically every X book's now going to have some tie-in to this story. So what is X Swords? What's going on here? What are they crossing over all about? And let me say, as someone who sat down and tried to read this book, I can say I have honestly no idea. I mean, this is the most convoluted, the most un-X-Men superhero-ish story that I've ever attempted to read. Highlight on the word convoluted. And the thing I think that just kind of hacked me off about this is I don't know who any of these people are. It doesn't even start with the X-Men. You got a big section of the books, and you're dealing with all these characters that have nothing to do with the X-Men, but apparently they do because they're part of this crossover now, and they have no history, or maybe there are some comics out there that kind of give you the background on these characters already, but they're not really well-known characters. So you got someone like me who kind of comes in and out when there's big events that I'm just totally lost. And not only am I lost, but I'm I just don't care. These people aren't interesting. So I'll tell you basically the kind of sum up what goes on in this book. So it starts in the place called Otherworld, which I guess is some other dimension or another planet. I think another dimension. And so there's these group of people that look like ancient Egyptian gods that are have an army of one-eyed monsters that kind of remind me of some of the monsters Thanos was using in the Avengers movies. And they're attacking a citadel that is apparently the last defense of some place. I don't know. It's the other world, whatever other world is. It's the citadel is its last defense, and they invade it and they burn it down. And the king of the citadel gives up his life and tries to send out a messenger to warn somebody. And the messenger gets away, gets killed, but still gets away and gets the message. And he takes this message to someone called hold on a second. To someone called Opal Luna Saturn, who looks just like Emma Frost, only more modestly dressed, but wearing all white, long cape, even got sort of this kind of fur thing around the collar, blonde hair, tall, tracked it. It's like when I flipped through the book initially, I really thought that was Emma Frost, but no, it is not. It is not Emma Frost. It's some uber powerful cosmic woman who's some kind of just, I don't know, well, like I said, I don't know. She has this thing with tarot cards, and she reads tarot cards to determine what's going to happen in the world. Oh, I didn't mention, like, between the messenger flying up to give Miss I Want to Be with the White Queen this warning, there's a group of fish people who talk about what's going on, and they summon like a worm dragon, which they then kill to do stuff and things with a minotaur. And are you guys following this yet? Is it making sense to you? Okay, good. Because then she pulls out a box that looks like some kind of magical box, and she reads the tarot cards, and then she sends somebody to go talk to Apocalypse about what's going on. Yeah, okay, so if the last minute or two of my video has frustrated you and confused you, now you know my experience of trying to read this book. And that's basically, like, what the heck is any of this stuff? And what does this have to do with the X-Men? But somehow this, like, conflict in this other place called Otherworld, where it's getting destroyed by Egyptian gods and Thanos' castaways, somehow ties into Krakoa, which then ties into the X-Men, and Apocalypse is like he knows about this and he's known about it for a while or something, and he's trying to get the council that leads the mutant nation, which he actually sits on, to get involved with this, and he's convincing him it's a thing. And oh my goodness, painful. I can't believe. Oh man, and I paid $7 for this book. I couldn't even read. I read half of the book. It's pretty thick. I will say that $7 is not a bad price for the amount of material you get. I don't know how many pages it is. I think it's like 60 pages. But my goodness, I'm not going to read the rest of this unless someone pays me the other $7. And no, actually, I think I need more than $7 to finish. If you guys want me to finish reading this and do more further reviews, and get a GoFundMe together and raise up, see how much money you can get to pay me to do that, because I'm just not having it. So I would just say, for now, just totally skip the X-Men comics for the rest of the year, because I think this is going to run through December and probably be over by the holidays. And I just say sit this one out, because it's either going to be extremely forgettable, or if this is really going to define like the next big thing that's going on in the X-Men for next year, oh my goodness, the X-Men are toast. This franchise is done. And really, that's all I've got to say about this comic. Don't buy it. Well, I'll leave the video, and somebody send me money for having gone through the pain of reading this. All right, that's it for now. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.